When it was announced that SMU was moving to the ACC, you spoke at length about how difficult this conference is for men's soccer. How does it feel to have won your first ACC tournament game?
Yeah, we're happy. Yeah, I mean, ending a team season is always hard. Right? It's always hard to get like over the line because they have, you know, there's caution to the wind and there's no, you know, nothing to lose. So they'll do anything. But yeah, credit to Boston College, a good team. Definitely tested us. Had some really talented pieces. So yeah, happy to find the result. They made it hard. They defended well. They didn't really sustain enough possession in the second half. But yeah, this league is a monster. So I mean, I knew it would be a gauntlet, and I knew it would be really challenging. But yeah, here we are in early November, and it's definitely lived up to the expectations.
You talked about how this conference schedule would get you ready for the postseason. I know you mostly meant NCAA tournament, but also did you feel that a little bit into the tournament game tonight?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, look, like, I don't know how many teams in the top 25 of the RPI we've played, but there's numerous. I mean, there's plenty. So, yeah, like on any day, I feel very confident that we can play with and beat anyone. We can also lose to anyone. But yeah, this league has you very well prepared. I don't think we'll go into the NCAA tournament and we'll find a team that we look at and go like, oh, we've never been tested like this before, you know? So will there be different teams in the future and better opponents or opponents that do have some different type of players, of course, but yeah, the team is well seasoned and battered and bruised through the run of games we put through, but yeah, we're ready for the next.
Caesar and Bailey were talking about how they felt like you guys had a good run of the play in the first half, but obviously it was still scoreless at the end of the half. And then Caesar said he felt like you guys were under it a little bit in the second half, but that's where you got the goal. What did Boston College change to maybe tilt the field in their favor, despite the fact that you ended up getting the game-winning goal from Bailey?
Yeah, we changed a bit at halftime to try to be able to get the ball to more advanced positions in wider areas. And it kind of pulled us apart a little bit. I don't know, I'll have to look at the video exactly, is exactly perfectly right or not. But yeah, I mean, they started stretching us and they made our strikers run and we couldn't get to the ball and then we got pinned deep and like, we still like, one of the best things about this team is we defend the box really well and they take great pride in like denying entries and blocking and clearing and all that. But yeah, we were definitely tested. Like possession in our half, you know, they had a good share of the ball tonight. So were we dangerous at times? Sure, we created enough chances to score a couple, but yeah, we were under it, and that's part of the game. You know, when a team is, you know, starts to become a little more, a little more desperate. They put a few more numbers high. They kind of pinned us, and you know, we had chances on the break, but we weren't clinical. So.
To have a couple guys like Kieran and Bailey who have played a lot of soccer here, either the most or two of the most games played here for you guys right now.
For sure.
How big is it for those guys to step up in these types of games?
Yeah, I mean Kieran and Bailey have both. I mean, they've started nearly every game for 4 years. You know, outside of injury and maybe a few bit of rotations, but yeah, they understand what it takes to win. They're both top players with really bright futures, so yeah, we can lean on them and several others. We have, you know, numerous guys who are a bit older and mature that when these games get hard, they've seen it before and they say, we're going to be okay, and you know, we can weather the storm. And even if we do give one up, there's enough confidence and personality in the group that we can find the resolve to go again. So yeah, two guys who were massive.
And then just for you, how fun is it to see two guys like that step up with this up in competition and to prove, they were recruited as American Conference at a top level program, but
Right.
still to do what they've done.
Sure. No, I mean, like, I don't think the step up in conference, like, phased either one of those guys. Like, they relish those moments. Yeah, both are top players, and you could play them in the ACC, you can play them on Mars. They're still going to be really good, So, yeah, so I think this is not something they were, not prepared for. These guys were just waiting for this type of, and they played better in big games. So this is, why they came here, to play in games like this and nights like this, and to play in games like we'll have on Sundays. So yeah, I'm happy with both of those guys.
Was Bailey the clearly designated target on that corner, or was it just right place, right time? And does Owen Zarnick get an assist for clearing out some space by the right
Yeah,
post?
I didn't see the highlight yet, but they set up kind of interesting. They're like, zonal, like 5 guys across the 6 and 1 guy down low, and the keeper's actually like, you would think with that many guys in that area that the keeper would be poor in the air, and he actually was quite good in the air tonight. So he can't just loft it in the middle. So, he said, like, I have to target the zone. And, yeah, that was intentional for Kieran to put the ball into that space. Can't just loft it in the middle when they got 5 guys or 6 guys and a goalkeeper. They're probably going to clear it. So balls to the near post, balls to the far post, any sort of, combination we can do as well. But yeah, it was 100% on purpose. Bailey was in the right spot, so, and I think Caesar was there, and so was I think that play was drawn up for. So yeah, good finish, wonderful ball by Kieran, but that's par for the course at this point. He always puts the ball in a good spot.
You talked earlier this year about your team learning to kill off games once you got a lead in the second half and seeing it through. What did you think of the way your team saw this one through at the end?
We can be better. We can surely be better. We had multiple moments where we did the wrong thing. We will sit in this very room in either tomorrow morning or in 2 mornings, and we will watch it. We are too mature and too prepared to take the risks we took at the end of the game. The game is about winning, and in order to give ourselves the best chance to win, we need to kill the game off in a more methodical fashion. So, yeah, we know better. There was a player who just came and said, "Sorry, coach, I know I gave you a heart attack at the end. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that." I was like, "You're right. We will discuss it." So, yeah, so those are mistakes. We will learn. They will know. It's our job to educate and hopefully give them the reasons and let them come to the realization that this is the correct way to kill it. Like, keep the game on the edges, throw-ins, fouls, those are our friend. Any sort of corner, like, can't let the ball change sides. You can't take risks through the middle of the field, and you can't give the ball away playing negative. So we did all 3 of those in the last 5 minutes, but credit to those guys who did give it away. They worked back to recover the ball, and credit to a couple of the defenders who saw it out well with Martin.
You mentioned that these guys are built for games like this and Sunday. So Sunday you get to see Wake Forest, who you just played. Any benefit in seeing a team twice in short order like that? Or what are your thoughts about seeing them
Probably not,
again?
honestly. Yeah, like, it's a good team. You won 3-0. But we saved a penalty at 1-0, and they had a handball called back on a counterattack off our own restart. So that was, Wake Forest can walk in here going like, we were toe-to-toe with SMU. My fear is SMU says like, oh, we beat Wake Forest 3-0, So it's our job to remind them of who Wake Forest is and how they play and how they can hurt us. We can have no arrogance about us with any team we play. know, there's a fine line, and we want to play right on that line between confidence and arrogance, but we cannot step over, and we have to respect every opponent, and Wake Forest is a big enough name and brand that these guys know better than to take anybody lightly, especially them.